Ho, 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 fam. Merry Christmas. It's been a minute. I haven't done that yet this season, and I got a little bit of time on my hands. So, one, I apologize to Krista. You haven't had the full experience of the true Milligan Manor Fantasy Football League. So, here you go. We're approaching 3 weeks left in the season. We're about to play all of our interdivision teams again one more time. With that being said, there is already 3 teams that are eliminated for this season before we even did a video. That is going to be Matt, Austin, and Rusty. Rusty's right back where we all expected him to be. So those 3 are eliminated from the playoffs. They will be dropping down a division, except 2 of them can't drop any lower. So Rusty will be joining the other 2 in the very bottom. Does the cream still rise to the top? What's the opposite of that statement? We'll have to figure that out. The middle high division is by far the most competitive. That might not be the right term. The closest. Competitive is probably not right, as 4-7, 4-7, and 3-8. Not good, but they are competitive and close to where anything can happen in that division. Delwyn is hanging on by a thread in the highest, but he does have a chance. Dylan and Michael are already all set, gonna make the playoffs, gonna move into next season. They can start actually working towards playoffs and how they want to play that. With that said, let's get a look into these matchups and see what's happening. First, as always, Jeffrey versus myself. We are tied currently, so this is a big matchup. We both are dealing with some bye issues as Jeffrey's entire bench is out. We both surprisingly played a player from the Thursday night football games, which no one should have really been starting from that. But Jeffrey got the better end of that. No surprise with Pickens over Elijah Moore. I am surprisingly projected to still win by 1.7 points, which I'm going to be honest, didn't expect. So I like that. Appreciate that, ESPN. I have to avoid CMC going off. However, they did just announce Brock Purdy is out and someone else for the 49ers. So I don't know if that's good for me because their offense might not be as good, or bad for me because Christian McCaffrey might touch the ball 35 times. So that's gonna hurt me a little bit. Tracy has looked good as well, but Bucks are a tough defense, and they got who's their new quarterback? It's not Daniel anymore. Tommy Cutlets at QB, and so they probably won't be very effective with the ball either. So that's gonna be very interesting. We're both playing very wild tight ends with our normal tight ends out on bye. Whoever had money on Noah Gray versus Luke Schoonmaker for a tight end matchup in week 12. You're a liar. This is going to be, I really do think this could come down to our defenses, which is kind of funny, and our kickers. So this is going to be fascinating to see, but I'm gonna think I sneak it out. I'm gonna take me because I always take me, guys. I can't not take me on the first video of the season. I'm gonna get a critical win here to really solidify my chance of making the playoffs and send Jeffrey down into survival mode for the final 2 weeks. Next, we got Barrett versus Delwyn. Oh, Delwyn's projected for a balmy 67, while Barrett is projected for 102. What do we have going on here? Only 1 point out of Cedric Tillman in the flex. Ouch. Yeah. Delwyn picked up Jonathan Brooks, been on my roster literally all season until this week when he might actually finally play. Enjoy him, sir. I hope he rides your bench forever in the future for the rest of this season as well. But Delwyn is fielding a starting lineup. There's no one out, no one on bye, and still only projected for 67. Woo. And Barrett has Audric Estime, who was on my roster last week as well. Blew the waiver wire like $15 for him. I hope he rots on your bench as well after this week, bro. Have fun. Barrett's apparently going to smash, and I don't see anything different unless Nakua and Josh Downs just go off for Delwyn. Don't see it happening. Barrett wins by 30, at least coasts. And that might solidify his spot in the playoff, actually. William versus Derek. Derek projected for 75 and William for 99. That's because Derek doesn't have a QB right now with Purdy out and Lawrence out. So he does have 2 QBs. Neither one of them can play. Really wish he would have picked up Anthony Richardson before Jeffrey. But I digress. Maybe I'll get lucky and Richardson will only put up 8 points, maybe 6. So Derek's going to have to do some decision making with dropping somebody and finding a quarterback to start in there. But that will make these totals a lot closer once Derek does do that. William with CeeDee Lamb. Hard to get super excited about that anymore. DK Metcalf, who's been allergic to the end zone this season. Travis Kelce, who was down, then he was up, and then I'm pretty sure he was terrible again last week. So what do we get out of him versus Isaiah Likely, though? The infamous waiver wire first week of the season by Mac. Well done, sir. This might be the third roster that Isaiah Likely is on in our league this season, which who would have thought that after week 1? Kyron Williams is due for a touchdown for Derek. Aaron Jones, too. He just hasn't been able to score, and he's been great. I like Derek's roster quite a bit. William leaning on Devin Singletary. Nope. Bucky Irvin could have a good week. Ramondre Stevenson, enigma, but decent in half PPR and PPR leagues from catching. Geno Smith, I don't ever know what to do with him, but he's been very good, which is always just so hard to trust. But I just said the same thing about Brock Purdy. Let's go with the upset here. Let's get a little wild. These teams are both tied 6-5, so this is a big matchup, just like Jeffrey and I's, to take the lead over the other and feel a little safer for the playoffs. I'm going to take Derek to surprise and get the upset done here for the win. Rusty versus Krista. Krista's already safe and good to go into the playoffs. No, let me take that back. Let me check. That might not be true. She is not. She has 7 wins, but is actually 1 spot out right now. Wow. What competitive division right there between Luke, Mac, and Krista. Some fun inter-family rivalry right there. Luckily, Krista gets to start the interdivision playing Rusty, which is the thing that cures whatever ails you. She is projected to win by 15 right now, and that is with a receiver out that she will surely replace. Maybe not. No, she's got Bateman on the bench. Okay, so she'll get somebody in there, and that gap will only get larger. Dad's team, Brian Robinson, yeah. Tua, yeah. Zay Flowers should be good. Brock Bowers, great tight end. It's kind of crazy. His roster's not terrible. Deebo Samuel, there's been your disappointment. Maybe he has a good week this week with having a new QB. Rusty's still holding on to Daniel Jones. He's believing in, I think Daniel Jones actually got cut today and is currently a free agent. Maybe he'll get picked up and play, it could be next level, just like Dad starting Taysom Hill last week. Maybe he knows something none of the rest of us do. No, not going to believe it. Krista will smoke. She'll get another receiver in there, win by 15 plus at a minimum, and look to tie it up with Mac for this spot in the playoff. Next, we have Austin versus Michael. Austin already eliminated. Michael already able to focus on the playoffs and already has a 31. Oh, my gosh. Michael had 5 players in the Thursday night game. What? You have 5 Browns and Steelers? Let's see. 1 Brown, 2. You have 3 Browns, and you somehow are already in the playoffs and are 7-4. That's commendable. I mean, how do you do that with a team that has like 3 wins now after their win last night on the season? That's crazy. So 31 points out of 5 players, and he's still projected to win by over 21. Awesome. What we got? Dak. Yep. Nope. He ain't played for a week or 2. Eckler, Kareem Hunt, Marvin Harrison's disappointed. Ferguson out. Doesn't even actually have a kicker on his roster at all, and has an empty bench spot, and his defense is on bye. I'm going to imagine that's not going to change. Austin, we'll see you at the draft next year, my man. Allen versus Ryan. Allen at 3-8. Ryan leading the way at 8-3. This game, actually, Ryan is the only team that is guaranteed in the playoff out of this division. So Dylan, Michael, and Ryan already for sure can start working on their playoff rosters and players. So Ryan doesn't need to make any changes, and it's a good thing because he's got 2 studs on bye this week, 3 as kicker as well. Not even going to bother replacing them, and it might not matter. He's still projected to win by 25, even though Allen did get 13 from Warren on Thursday night. Not a bad start, but lots of IR and injuries everywhere. We'll see if Allen actually puts Mike Evans in the lineup with him starting back this week. Big upgrade for him. Allen would have a chance at winning if he made that change, but Ryan's going to get it done, continue to build his lead that he doesn't even need any more of heading into the playoffs. Luke versus Mac, massive matchup. Probably the biggest matchup of the week, along with Derek and William, and then me and Jeffrey. This one, though, for the lead of the division, if Luke wins, he's safe. If Mac wins, Krista's in trouble and got some work to do. Luke, though, did get 18 out of Nick Chubb. Wow, what a renaissance. Dude has been terrible all year, but got in the end zone twice. Surprisingly, some decent fantasy out of that game last night that no one was expecting to be high scoring. These dudes are projected for 111 and 98. Like, what? Two stud rosters here. This is going to be some hard picking. Mac rocking with the Chiefs' backup kicker, which is now the current starter. Commanders D, whoever thought that'd be a good thing. Goddard, Neighbor, Cup, Akers. Ooh, little weakness. Okay, so we got a little weakness at a running back spot there with Bijan out. Evan Ingram out, but that's all right with him right now. He's got coverage there. Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Taylor for Luke. DeAndre Swift, questionable. Jordan Addison, so there's his weakness. Zach Ertz tight end, Does have Garrett Wilson on bye where he's having to dart throw between Addison and Romeo Dubs. That's going to be critical, I think, to who ends up winning this week. Is Luke making the right choice in that one? Despite getting the 18 out Chubb, which is a great start, and Luke projected to win by over 13 points, I do think that Mac surprises and comes back on this despite Derrick Henry facing a good defense and despite Cam Akers at running back as kind of a backup second string. I think Mac surprises here and gets it done. It's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be a fun one to watch throughout the week. Let's see if they have any night games. So many Mageddon this week. Let's see, a Sunday night. Nothing on Monday for Luke. So Sunday night is what this will come down to. And Mac has 3 Sunday night players and a Monday night. So Luke is going to need a hefty lead going into Sunday night. Or if he's not up 40 plus, he's going to need more than 40. If he's not up by more than 40 going to Sunday night, Mac, I think, has that one in hand. And then Dylan versus Matt. Sorry, Matt, you're luck in this league every year, man. 1 in 10. Ouch. Got 7 points from the kicker, though. Pretty impressive in that weather. Boswell is he the number 1 kicker? It feels like he should be. Let's see. Yeah, number 1. That dude has been incredible this year. He's holding on to Aaron Rodgers. Salute to you for holding it through. I guess you don't want to get fired like he's doing to everyone else on the Jets, so don't let him go or he'll find out. He'll come and fire you as well. Dylan is projected to win 112 to 59. Yikes. Dylan and the Lions, man. I learned the wrath of that last week. Gross. On the weeks where Jared Goff is in a dome, all good to go. The second they play outdoors, though, Dylan is going to get absolutely crushed, which that'll probably come during the playoffs. And then shame for him on that strategy is going to fall through probably week 1 or week 2 of the playoffs. Let's see. The Lions play in our playoffs. They are at home versus Buffalo and then at Chicago. I bet you that Dylan will lose second round of the playoffs, week 16, when the Lions play the Bears. There's my bold prediction for Dylan's future in this league. Well, that's it for this week. Hopefully with school wrapping down a little bit, both work and doctorate classes, that I'll be able to hopefully do the last few weeks of this and then in the playoffs, and we'll start the elimination countdown as well. We got 3 out already, and every week people will start to get kicked out as we have the interdivisional matchups. Miss all y'all. See you at Christmas. Lakeland's coming real soon, everybody. Love y'all.